back to the basement gun shop, or in this case, backyard millet and brewery. Another off topic, this is my first true all grain brew day, going from a mash tun to the boil kettle, doing a manual Vorloff, good, 170 degree mash out, the whole 9 yards. So I've got my DIY mash tun right here, which is a 48 quart cooler, ball valve, which I'm going to shut right now so I don't forget to shut it later. Ball valve, hose nipple, a bazooka strainer, screen strainer inside. Right now I'm just heating up 2 gallons of water on the old propane burner just to preheat the mash tun. I've got a big mouth bubbler here with 5 or 6 gallons of water in it. I have another 6-gallon carboy. This is my first grain batch that came out of my head. I didn't copy anybody's recipe. I sat down with the catalog of grains, went, oh, this sounds nice, this sounds nice, this. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I plugged it into Beersmith and got a whole bunch of information from the Beersmith program. If you're new to brewing, just buy it. It's awesome. You probably won't understand a lot of it. You'll have to learn how to use the software. Wow, it's a little windy, but so what? It's a beautiful November day. So we're gonna brew. The 10 or 12 gallons of water that I have in my fermenters right now, I actually collected that from an artesian well at a local state park. So this is completely untreated water, right out of the ground, literally right out of the ground. So we've got water out of the ground. I'm just preheating some water to warm up the mash tun and get that in there. And then I'm gonna start warming up my strike water. 15 pounds of grain in 1 5-gallon batch. See you in a bit. All right, so I got 2 gallons of 170 degree water sitting in the mash tun, preheating the mash tun. I've got 4 3/4 gallons of water right here. So I'm heating my strike water now, or the water I'm going to use to mash. This needs to go to about 163 degrees. I figure I'm going to lose about, actually I'm going to take the 165 because the grains have been sitting out in a bin, so they're a little colder than normal. I want to mash in right around 150, 148 to 152 in that area. So that's what I'm looking for, is mash temperature after I get all the grains and everything mixed with the strike water. So I'm going to heat this to about 165. Back in a bit. So our sparge water is at, or our mash water rather, is at 139. Got about another roughly 25 degrees to go. So I just want to go over the grain bill for this monster brew real quick. It's 5 pounds of Munton's mild ale, 5 pounds of Maris Otter, pale malt, a pound of Rahr 6-row, a pound of Brias Victory, a pound of Munton's Crystal 60L, a pound of Brias Crystal 120L, and a pound of flaked oats. Right now there's a lot more experienced brewers sitting at home going, what the hell is he trying to do? Brew beer. I have no doubt I'm going to brew beer. I don't even know if I'm going to like it, but we're going to give it a shot. So we'll be back for the mash in. Okay, time to mash in. So since I don't have a partner to help, I got to scoop these in a little bit at a time. This wind is causing me some serious issues with getting my waters up to temp. I might have to move up to the back porch to actually get the boil done. Oh, there's a dough ball. We'll be back when the mash-in's done. So this is the last of the 15 pounds of grist going in right here. Oh, Bloody hell. So let's get this mashed in. Oh my goodness, this is thick. This is gonna be a thick beer. I might even do a second runnings on these. Probably get a, I don't even know what this is gonna be when it's done. Insane. Let me grab my thermometer real quick. Let's see if we made our mash temp. We're at 151. So I'm thinking this is pretty well, a little higher. I would have preferred to be down around 148. But that's it. We're going to close it up, let it sit. It's like stupid windy. And I'm having trouble getting my water to temp on the burner out here in the open. So seeing as how the wind's going north to south, I'm going to move the boil up onto my back porch. I've just been rearranging stuff, trying to make sure I got room for the burner and everything, because only one side of my porch is open, the other two sides are enclosed. So that should stop the wind enough and allow the steam to dissipate so it doesn't just ruin the roof or the ceiling on the back porch roof. And the reason for shooting this was just to appease the beer gods. We've got a lovely Irish red ale that I brewed from an extract kit I got from homebrewsupply.com. Hands down so far, this is absolutely my favorite homebrew. Batch 1 was okay. Tasted like Sam Adams, a little too hoppy for me. Batch 2, that's more stout than Guinness Extra Stout. It was supposed to be a nut brown ale. I fussed with the recipe and the boil times and just totally darkened it, and I was really surprised the way it came out. It mellowed out, and as far as stouts go, really good. But this one, hands down, oh my goodness, it is wonderful. I absolutely love it. So we've probably got about 30 minutes left in our sacrification rest, mash time. The temp of my mash tun has dropped, probably because of the wind and everything else. It's now down to 149, so I'm kind of worried about it dropping under the 148 mark. But even so, the farther down the temp goes, the more simple sugars, the more ABV, and I've got a huge yeast starter for this monster batch. So we'll be back when we're ready to do the Vorloff. Okay, so it is time to Vorloff. Our 60-minute sacrification rest is done. Time to Vorloff, get the grain bed set. The sparge water is at temperature, so let's go. I really want to see how clear I can get this. doing it this way with the mash tun and everything, versus a brew in a bag, which is what I was doing for all grain brewing. Looks like it's clearing up pretty nicely. £15 of grain into the compost pile. That's gonna be crazy. It's taken a little longer to drain the mash tun than I thought it would. You know, you see all these other videos where guys are mashing in a cooler like I am and stuff like that, and they never tell you how long it takes a mash tun to drain, so you don't know what to expect. So, yeah, most of the work's been drained off. It's actually kind of wicked clear. It's pretty much on par with the brew in a bag stuff I've done before. A couple of batches, I've done 3 batches brew in a bag I did before, rather than moving to the mash tun like I have now. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna let it drain and enjoy some more Irish red. So check back and we'll be up on the porch later getting the boil going. We moved the boil kettle up here onto the back porch, so it's a little more sheltered from the wind. When I brought it up about, I don't know, 8-10 minutes ago, give or take, the temperature of the water, or the wort, in here was roughly 142 degrees. Put it on the heat, and now we're at 159. So we're getting ready to boil any minute now. Usually with this kettle, the top of the liquid is about 179 to 184 when it's actually boiling. Simply because your hot stuff's down here, your cool stuff's up here. And that's just the way it works. Got my hops over there, and oh yeah, so let's talk about the hops. This is going to be a single hop edition beer, because I'm not big on the whole hops thing. So we are just going to bitter this with some U.S. Brewers Gold, 1 ounce, at 60 minutes, 9.5% alpha acids, 5.1% beta. And that's it. We're going to stick with the recipe. I've got some other hops. I've got some Cascades. I've got some Magnum. I was thinking about using them because someone on a forum suggested that with the amount of sweet stuff I got in this wort, I might want to bitter it a little more. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with my original Frankinbrew recipe. So that's pretty much it for right now. Sooner or later we'll be back with, I don't know, maybe sticking a wort chiller in, maybe adding the one and only hop edition. I don't know, we'll be doing something, but right now we're just waiting for this to come up to a boil. So we are just about ready to break into a boil. It's only been like 5 or 6 minutes since I shot the last little 1-minute segment. We're just about ready to break into a boil. We got a little foam across the top of the kettle. And there we go, we have a boil. So let's see if I can stir this down. Let's turn the heat down a little bit.
Sometimes I've had too much to drink. Get all stoned to play some hang.
Oh, we definitely need to turn that down.
Just the way I am. And I love the man from Galilee, because he died for you and me. I met them both at Dixieland.
All right, we have a boil. It's time for the first and only Hop Edition, which is, again, U.S. Brewers Gold, 9.5% alpha, 5.1% beta. Oh, they smell good. Bloody hell. And there go the hops. Oh. You know, that aroma when you add hops to your boiling wort and you just get that hot blast of the steam coming up there. Oh my goodness. Bloody hell, that's delicious. All right, time to start the boil timer. Minutes into the boil, my SG was already at 15.2 bricks, or about 1063. This is gonna be a thick-ass beer. And, oh, the smell coming off the kettle is so wonderful. I gotta admit, when you dump those hops in there, wow. I can't wait. I really can't wait to taste this. 5 weeks from now. 5 weeks! I'm figuring a week in primary, 2 weeks in secondary, 2 weeks bottle conditioning, 5 weeks. Oh, that's gonna hurt. The color of the wort, the boil, I'm kind of doing a little more vigorous boil with this one than I do with other batches. So we'll see how it turns out. After all, this is completely out of my head. I got nothing to go by. I've only got these feelings, more or less. So here we are. We're probably 30 minutes into the boil right now. So at this point, I'm going to say check back when we're throwing in the 15-minute additives. Okay, so we're at 15 minutes left in the boil. It's time to add the wort chiller, some yeast nutrient, and a wort flock tablet. So, you know what? Let's get this, which is the yeast nutrient and wort flock. We'll throw that in there. And then we'll rinse that out. Oh my goodness, that's sticky. There goes the mash paddle. So here's the wort chiller. That's going in. I'm gonna throw those over there. We'll turn the heat up just a little bit. Oh. We'll bring that back to a boil. My wort chiller is a 50-foot stainless steel wort chiller. So you can imagine dropping that much cold steel in there. It's 3/8 stainless steel tubing, 50 foot of it. You drop that in your boiling wort to sanitize it basically in the boil. So we're back to a boil. So now it's just nothing more than waiting for the 15 minutes to run out on the boil time, and then we'll take the boil kettle back down in the yard. We'll hook the wort chiller up to the garden hose, and we'll start running cold water through it. And wow. Oh, YouTube, you need to implement smell-o-vision, because the smell coming off this kettle is just wonderful. See you in a bit. Okay, so our boil just ended, and we brought the boil kettle down to the backyard, hooked up the wort chiller, let me see, there we go, hooked up the wort chiller to the hose, and we've got basically, probably at this time of year, 55-degree tap water running through this hose, running into this hose, and then of course that runs down through the wort chiller, up from the bottom, and out of this hose into the drain in my backyard. So we're chilling the wort. Check back in a bit. Okay, so we've chilled our wort. We've racked it into the bottling bucket. Through our big honking strainer, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put it into the fermenter with this funnel that has an even finer strainer, simply because we want to get any kind of trub left over out of the wort, and put as clarified a beer as we can into the fermenter. In the meantime, it's time for our final gravity check. So let's see what we got going on here. We'll pull off a couple drops. See where we're at. Wow. 1076 final gravity after post boil. And chilling, we're at 1076. Yep, 1076. Let's see what Beersmith said. Son of a bitch. Beersmith said estimated original gravity 1079. So we're 3 points off. That's definitely something I can live with. Because when this monster ferments, I'm all kinds of sticky from transferring the wort from the boil kettle into the bucket here. So, wow, there's a lot of sugar in there to ferment. Okay, so here it is. In the fermenter, it's time to swirl the yeast, get all that back into suspension. We're at 5 gallons. I did have to top it off with about half a gallon, give or take. So we'll just loosen the ring here, and we'll get this yeast into the beer. So there's about 400 billion yeast cells going into this batch of ridiculousness that I really don't even have a name for. A little bit left over in the flask. Just gonna grab some water real quick out of the sink. I don't think that ounce or two is gonna make a difference. At least I hope it won't. And there we go. The only thing left to do now, put an airlock on it and stick it in the basement for fermentation. as always, thanks for watching the Basement Gun Shop. If you have any questions, please, absolutely, leave them below in the comments section. Like the channel, subscribe, even better. And until next time, stay safe, keep brewing, or shooting. Either way, we're good. Cheers.